Alright YouTube, so we were back with a kind of weird video. The gameplay we're using is from Remake. It's the ending of Remake. It's specifically the ending of Remake for a reason, but also I couldn't be bothered to capture more gameplay for Stranger Paradise. But also I personally feel like the gameplay in the background of most of my videos doesn't really matter because it's more so about the topic. I don't imagine most people are watching the video, they're probably listening to it. Anyways, what we're here to talk about, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. When it comes to Stranger Paradise, and this information is a little bit older, but I'm just not getting around to making a video about it. I didn't even plan on making a video about it, but I was kind of thinking about it because I was watching like some reactions and stuff like that to other Final Fantasy games, specifically people's reactions to the ending of like Remake and like, you know, Final Fantasy 15 and 7, 8, 9, stuff like that. And it got me thinking about this specific thing. I am a little rambling, been drinking a bit. It's kind of late. It's like 1:30, 2 a.m. or some shit. But when it comes to Stranger Paradise, it's apparently against Square Enix rules or guidelines for that game for you to stream or post anything about the ending. Specifically, it says, do not live stream, post videos, or post anything from the ending of the game, including, without limitation, the content following the final battle up until the end to be continued, thin, or similar messaging is displayed. Something that's interesting that I didn't even take note of until sitting down to record the video is it doesn't even specify platform. Now, obviously, when it says don't live stream, that means like Facebook, gaming, YouTube, Twitch, stuff like that. But also it just says don't post videos or anything from the ending of the game. That means you couldn't even take a picture, screenshot, or video or anything and post it to Twitter, for example. Or just Facebook in general. Not just Facebook game, just Facebook. You're not allowed to post on social media anything from the ending of Stranger of Paradise. Now, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here, but does that not sound, I don't know, incredibly fucking stupid? As of right now, I'm about 75 years old. I've never in my life heard of this. Is this a thing? Can you guys verify for me if it's ever been a thing in the past where specifically a game like Studio puts out a game and you're allowed to stream it, do whatever you want with it on social media, you can post any pictures, anything you want to, but they specifically tell you a part of the game that you're not allowed to post? Because I've never heard that. You're not allowed to live stream. So like if we use Remake as an example here, this is obviously from Chapter 18, the ending of Remake Part 1. If you were streaming this game, the same guidelines applied. As soon as you finished Chapter 17, I guess, you have to stop your stream. Like, if you're streaming, it doesn't matter how popping your stream is. Maybe you're a small channel, you get a big audience, hundreds, thousands of people watching you. You would then have to call it quits because Square Enix said so. Now, to be perfectly fair, I don't know what the repercussions of this are. Like, they're saying that you can't do it, but what are they going to do if you do? Maybe just have your video taken down, your live stream taken down, a DMCA. Maybe if you live streamed on YouTube, live streamed the ending of Stranger Paradise, maybe they'd take it down and give it a strike to your channel. I don't know what the repercussions are. And goddamn, I wish I streamed because I would intentionally buy this game and intentionally stream the ending just to find out. I'd fucking dare them. Like, dude, I get it. It is their property, right? It's their game. They made it. They produced it, whatever the case. But at a certain point, I bought that shit and it's mine, right? Like, they can set certain rules. I get it. They could say that you can't live stream it and you're not allowed to. Like, that's within their power to do so. But if you read through the guidelines, they have all the stipulations that pretty much every other game has. Like, you have pretty much pure freedom with this game, for the most part, to do what you normally do with any other game in terms of, like, live streaming. And also being able to post it on social media, right? Like, but to tell me that I can't take this game that I bought, I gave you $60 for, I'm helping you make money so that your game's not a fucking flop, and then I'm not allowed to talk about it on social media. Like, maybe the ending's insane. Maybe the ending is just the best ending ever to a video game, and we would not be able to talk about it. I couldn't make a video talking to you guys about the ending of Stranger Paradise, at least not showing anything. We could talk about it with some different gameplay, of course. But generally speaking, you couldn't post a screenshot or a clip from the end of the game and talk about it with your friends on social media. You know, I say that, but it actually says that you can't post anything from the ending, so I don't even know if I'd be able to make a video with, like, no images from the ending of Stranger Paradise and actually be able to talk about it, because maybe talking about it's within the guidelines that they're setting, right? Maybe, because it's kind of vague, right? It's a little vague. It doesn't specify a lot of stuff, so it's kind of up to their discretion if you're breaking their rule, which is obviously why this is some bullshit. But here's the thing, dude. This video is not just about Stranger Paradise, though this is sort of the catalyst for all this, right? Where does this stop? Like, okay, whenever Remake came out in 2020, people were getting it a little early, right? It was getting sent to people like a week or two early. And I remember them going on social media and telling people not to spoil the ending of the game. Like, that, they kind of went out there and tried to tell the community, you know, be nice, don't post, you know, anything on social media, let people get the game and play it. I get that. I would not bitch about that if that's what they're saying here, but that's not what they're saying. This is the equivalent of them telling you with Remake, when Remake came out in 2020, you're not allowed to post or talk about the ending of Remake on social media. You can't do it. You live stream it, we're going to take your video down. That's the equivalent of this. And where does it stop, though, going forward? Is this same guideline going to be applied to Remake Part 2? When Remake Part 2 comes out, are we going to be able to talk about it and theorize with the ending of the game? What about Final Fantasy 16 and really any other Square Enix game going forward? And if not, then why specifically Stranger Paradise? That's what's kind of confusing here. Because I've personally never seen this. I get if they don't want you to spoil shit for people, but to like specifically tell you that you cannot stream and do shit with the ending of the game it's just weird. I can't recall this being a thing before right now. And actually looking into it, this even currently right now isn't the only Final Fantasy property where they're enforcing this rule. They actually have it for the pixel remasters that are out there. Oddly enough, they tell you to avoid spoilers. They don't want you to post spoilers online, but then they also specifically specify that you can't post the endings of those games, which I thought was kind of weird because they're remasters of games that are super, super old. I can get it for more, modern games because they're brand new. They're very new games. They're just coming out. Stranger Paradise, brand new. But these are games that are, from how long ago? And you're telling me I can't post the ending? Can't stream the ending? Also, apparently, Atlus did this before, which Atlus is the Persona games with Persona 5 and also Persona 5 Roll Edition. Like, you couldn't stream to a certain point. Like, with Roll Edition, after I got to December 24th in the game, you couldn't stream it anymore. It was against their rules, against their guidelines. Now, from what I'm seeing a little bit on Twitter with this discussion, some people are saying that like, Square Enix and Atlus weren't really enforcing these things. They haven't been so far. People are streaming the ending of the Pixel Remasters. Probably people are also streaming Stranger Paradise. People will stream probably the ending of, or after December 24th with Persona Royal. But that's not the point. The point is the guideline's there, so at any point they could enforce it. Even if they're not doing it right now. If you just decided to stream the ending of Stranger Paradise, they could just take your video down if they want to. They could just choose to, because it's within their guidelines and within their power to do so. There's nothing you can do about it. Think about the precedent this sets if it becomes enforced and more companies start doing it. Like, with any sort of Let's Play, let's say you stream on Twitch. It doesn't matter how big or small your Twitch is. You just stream on Twitch. You have to stop, like, every single Let's Play for every game, like, right at the ending. Like, at a certain point, you gotta stop, like, that's the Let's Play, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. What's the next game we should stream? Like, what is this rule? This is the strangest damn thing I've ever seen. Something I said earlier in the video, dude, is I love watching reactions or Let's Plays of people's, like, playthroughs of Final Fantasy games, specifically 7 Remake right here. I love watching people's reactions to the reveal that Zack is potentially alive. Like, that shit is so great, dude. It's such a good feeling to see how happy and emotional people get to the possibility of Zack being alive when it comes to the remake story. Imagine if we couldn't do that. Imagine if you weren't allowed to post your reactions or your Let's Plays to this part of Remake. Or again, going forward with Final Fantasy 16, whatever that ending might be, or Remake Part 2 or 3 or 4, like we couldn't talk about it on social media, we couldn't really discuss it, we couldn't post Let's Plays, couldn't post reactions. Like, this is such a dangerous precedent that Square Enix is trying to set, and they're always trying to be trendsetters when it comes to gaming, to some degree, right? They've fucking beat to death the mobile market. How many Brave Exvius mobile games are there? I have no idea. They put out like 2 Kingdom Hearts mobile games pretty close together. It's crazy. And they're talking about getting into NFTs, now they're trying to enforce this rule, or at least post this guideline where you can't, like, talk about or stream the endings of their games, dude. And it's just like, I don't know, it's disgusting, dude. It's just gross. I don't like it. And again, bringing up the Pixel Remaster, they're telling you can't stream or talk about the endings of games that are 20, 30 years old and shit, dude. It's not even like new games. It's old games. It's re-releases of old games. Like, if they ever remaster Crisis Core, sorry, you can't post your Let's Play or your reaction to the ending where Zack fucking dies brutally and it rips your goddamn heart out. Sorry, Square Enix doesn't let you. I know I'm a little passionate about this, a little emotional when it comes to this video, but I'm also a content creator. I don't even stream. I just make content on YouTube, right? But I feel for people that do stream. And no matter how big or small your channel is, they can enforce this. And let's be honest here. They're not going to go after the big content creators, right? If the big Square Enix content creators are streaming the endings of these games, they're not going to take them down because that's such big promotion for them. But if they want to pick on somebody, they're going to pick on the little guy. You out there who might stream to just 5 or 10 people, maybe you get barely any viewers at all. Maybe you get no viewers at all. If they want to enforce this, dude, who's going to stop them? And there's literally nothing you can do about it because the rule's already there. They have the guideline up on their website. They're telling you not to stream the ending. So if you stream it, they take your video down, you're breaking that rule that they set, even though they don't seem to actually enforce that rule right now. Which is kind of weird to me because why have that rule at all if you're not actually going to enforce it? And I've not heard of Square Enix doing this up until now with the Pixel Remaster and, of course, Stranger Paradise, which makes me wonder if they're not going to start enforcing this going forward. I don't know, dude. Maybe it's the beers talking, dude. I had to talk about this. I had to discuss it. I had to rant about it a little bit. What are your thoughts, my dudes? What are your thoughts going forward? Especially if you are a streamer or a content creator on YouTube. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, right? Wherever you stream at, wherever you make content at. But of course, even if you're not a content creator, even if you don't stream or make YouTube videos, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. I'm not arguing about them setting rules for their games. It's their game. I get it. They can do whatever they want with it. We're talking about the precedent they're setting here and what it could have, like, on the industry if they start enforcing it, other developers start doing it. Because Square Enix is, like, super influential in the games industry, right? They're one of the biggest developers out there in terms of, like, brand name and shit like that, right? They've been around for 30, 40 years, 50 years. I don't know how long they've been around. They've been around for a long goddamn time. And if they start enforcing this and people have to abide by it, And other developers have also been kind of clamoring for something like this, where they don't want people spoiling the endings of their games. Who knows what this means going forward, man? My dudes, we gotta wrap this video up. I was not planning on this being like a 10-minute video, dude. I just wanted to kind of talk about it, but maybe it's the beers, maybe it's the passion, maybe it's the anger. I don't know. Something, I just had to talk about this. My dudes, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys already want to talk about more rules that Square Enix sets in the future. Maybe we can't even talk about Remake Part 2 anymore. Maybe when that game comes out, you just have to play it and just talk amongst yourselves about it. Turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter, @DaveYT. I'm a Discord link, social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Do not live stream, post videos, or post anything from the ending of the game.
Like I give a shit. Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect, we spend it with no shame, we blow that. Like Coltrane, we in here, like Low Gain or leave it, like Hope